Hi, Matthias here. So in this video, we will be converting this Tailwind-based landing page into a WordPress template, and we'll be using Pinegrow 8.2 that lets us export templates that work directly in the WordPress site editor. And I'll be freestyling this video, so no fast forwards, and if we run into any issues, we will solve them together. And like nowadays, AI is super hot topic everywhere, and I don't want to hype it in any way, but with Pinegrow 8.2, we really have very good seamless integration of AI assistant, and we call it Mr. Pinecone, and we will be using it in this project also, and you will see why. It simply can save us a lot of time. So anyway, let's take a look at what we are starting with. We have, and I'll alt-click on this so that all the levels get collapsed. So we have a landing page, which was, by the way, also generated by Mr. Pinecone. And we will be converting it into a WordPress template that will be kind of like, modern approach, not like our classic themes, where we do a classic theme with blank page and empty loop, and then we kind of manage everything with blocks in content. We will be actually using templates, like new recent feature of WordPress that lets us define the templates using our custom blocks. So anyway, let's go. So here, design panel is activated. This is a nice Tailwind helper. It compiles the Tailwind CSS automatically for us. And we also have a couple of extra colors, primary and secondary. And all the things on the page, like all the colors, are using the primary and secondary. And the reason is that makes it very easy to change the design. We can just use surprise me or just change the colors, and everything will be automatically changed. Okay, so first of all, let's activate WordPress, and let's give it a name, Styled Garden. And we select the theme folder. I'm using local for like my local WordPress development environment. And if I talk too slowly, you can always like speed me up with, playback. 2 or 1.5 works quite nice. Or you can just chill and relax. Okay, we pick content, themes, select. And we want to create the folder here. Okay, and then we have a new option here in Export Options, Enable Site Editor. So this will kind of add a few lines of code, and it will create empty index.html in templates folder, because that's what is required by WordPress to activate site editing features. And what else? Okay, our block type, default block type will be hybrid. So this means that on the front end, in the editor, the block is implemented with React, giving it this nice immediate live editing effect. And on the back end, like on the front end, when the block is rendered, we are using PHP, kind of dynamic block. And this lets us avoid all these issues with block recovery and stuff like that. So whenever we make a change to the block, all the block instances on the whole site are updated. So, okay. Then we'll do other things later. Oh yeah, one more useful thing, we can do it now. So we added the setting for the default category where all the blocks that are created in this project will go. So no, it's not anymore needed to do this on every block. So we can just now do the category. Styled garden, okay, lowercase, and we will register this block category because it doesn't exist yet. Blocks. Icon, we could choose one, but let's just go with default. And yeah. Okay, so now we are ready to export our project. So I will use Command M, export the theme. So that was done, and a few files were created in the project, like functions, PHP, style, CSS that contains theme version, a theme name, and similar information. Custom PHP, where we can put our custom PHP code. And this is new. We got empty template, index.html in templates folder. And if we go here into project, so here it is. And now by default, like every HTML file in templates gets copied into the exported theme. So we could manually define templates here, and then when we export, they will be copied to the to the project in WordPress. And this index HTML is completely blank. Opening quoted, it has nothing, because we will be editing these templates in WordPress site editor. Okay, so the plan is to convert these sections into custom blocks. And then we will go in WordPress and we will use these blocks to build our templates. And the way to create custom blocks is first we select the element, like the section element, and then we go to WordPress panel and add block action to this element. So usually we would just go and type the ID, the title, the description. It's not too bad, it's not so much work, but now we have this auto create button. And this uses the AI assistant to automatically create a fully editable block. Yeah? So let me now jump into AI panel and show you the settings. So here we can define API providers, because Pinegrow is using like bring your own API key approach. So you have to sign up like at OpenAI or Anthropic for API access, and then you get the key and you just put it here. And this is the best approach in my view, because you pay for exactly the amount that you spend, and usually this is very low amount, and you are really independent how and which AI API you use. You're not dependent on us, because then if we do it, then we have to come up with some kind of monthly plan and calculate what the average use will be. So like a lot of problems, but this is simple pay as you go. And we have a short video about like how easy it is to sign up for these services. So anyway, what I'm using, like in Pinegrow, we can define two models, quick and smart, and then it's very easy to switch between them. So for quick model, I usually, at the moment I'm using GPT-4o Mini. I could also use like Claude 3.5 Haiku. And for smart model, I'm using Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I mean, that's really the best, top of the line, better than anything from OpenAI when it comes to coding. Also, the price is okay. So if you have to choose one provider, go with Anthropic. And then you can use Haiku as a quick model and Claude Sonnet as a smart model. And we will be using this in this adventure. So, okay, let's save the settings. And now instead of, clicking and typing, I will just say auto create. And let's move this panel here. So now this is making a call. It's feeding a lot of information into the prompt, and then it's doing the call to the Anthropic AI, because here we have smart model is selected. And you see it's quick, or I talk too slow because it was just done, or my sentence is still like, I'm still in the middle of my sentence. So let's take a look at what happened. So, okay, first of all, now we have these IDs filled in. So the block ID is main navigation, the title is main navigation, and we even get the description, which when we do this manually, I'm always too lazy to come up with the description. But that's not all. If we check here, we also see that, some further WordPress actions were added for us. So this was like the site name got the site name action and the site link action that goes to home. And then we also have a menu here, so let me make it bigger. So the menu, got the menu smart action that shows the primary menu. So basically there's nothing for us to do when it comes to this block. So let's now go select the header and do the header block. And maybe this is easier to see. Again, block, auto create, and AI is now working. Let's just wait for it to finish. There's no hurry because it's saving us so much time. We have more time to relax, right? Okay, so we have again hero banner. Actually, I prefer just hero. That's the beauty of Pinegrow, AI in Pinegrow. You can use it as an assistant, but then whenever there is something you don't like or you want something else, you can simply change it. And the block action is not the only one that was added, because this element has background image. Then Mr. Pinecone was very smart and added block attribute, so it made the background editable. That's exactly what we would do if we would create this block by hand. So, okay, and then H1 has two editable fields. One is heading start, like the white part, and then the yellow part, heading highlight. Yeah, so perfect. And then we have subtitle with content, and then let's see the button. So the button, well, here I would make a change because it created, the button actually has like SVG inside, this small arrow, and it made the whole, the whole content editable. But maybe we just want to make get started editable, right? So what we will do, now this block action has two attributes. One is link. So we want to keep this one because that's like URL of this link. but then the content is editable, the whole content. So let's remove this action. And then we'll go here and activate the edit text. We could do it in code also. I'll select get started and I will create a span. Done. So now we have span and SVG. And I will now click on span and I will add block attribute, which I will call primary button label. I'm using similar names that the other actions have. So now like this arrow won't be editable. I think it works quite nice. No need to make it editable, but the label will be editable. We have get started is editable, the span, and the when it comes to the second button, because it has no icon, then the link itself has both link and text attributes. Oh, here it's using text, so let's also change it here. Let's call it text. Okay, and save it. So now to make it more interesting, let's export the project and jump into our WordPress site. It's very simple, nothing here. I have some test content that I imported. So now here is our styled garden, but you know, where is the picture? So let's go back to Pinegrow. And here we have WordPress update theme screenshot. Done. And let's export again and reload. And here it is. Yeah, looks nice. So let's activate our project and visit the site. And it's nothing here, but that's to be expected because remember our index.html template is empty. And so what we will do is here we now have this button edit site. So now let's see, here our styled garden block. So we have main navigation and we have hero, but you know, notice how ugly it is. You know, there is no styling in the editor. And what we have to do is go into settings. And then down here we have blocks, editor, style sheets. So here we select the style sheets that are included in the block editor when we are editing the text, the site. So, and these style sheets are not something specific to a particular block, but kind of global style sheets of our site. So let's go into the source project. In here, Tailwind theme. If we are using design panel in Pinegrow for Tailwind, it automatically creates a second version of CSS file called Tailwind for WP editor. That's a bit special. It doesn't reset all the styles, all the CSS styles like Tailwind does. So this is the one that we should use to include in the block editor. So let's save, export, and now let's reload. Now it looks better. And we choose a block, main navigation, and hero. But we won't just include main navigation as it is, because WordPress lets us define footers and headers. Again, it has some broken blocks. So we will delete the old block. Okay, and now we can finally add our main navigation into the header. And it's always good to check this outline view to see, because it's so easy to misplace the block into a wrong place. So now here it is, our navigation. And we can now add the hero block. See, it went into wrong place, so we don't want it. There way to... Okay, so I'll just drag it up, and then I'll close this, and then I'll... Yeah, I mean, the editor is a bit clumsy, but when we are just moving like these big blocks, it's okay. But I can't imagine using this editor to actually build the divs and paragraphs and links and all the small details. That, for me at least, that's so much easier to do in Pinegrow. Okay, so, and we can now like customize our block. Like up here, this is site name and the menu, so nothing to customize here. But the hero block is editable, so we can change everything. So this site will be, I don't know, let's make it about surfing. And let's say, oops, join us for amazing surf. Yeah, or we can for. Yeah. But anyway, you see the point. And then we can also change the picture. Maybe this one. Yeah. So we have, and we can edit but I won't bore you with this, with editing the things. But let's try our button if it works as we want it. So we can actually edit the label, but not the image, the SVG icon. Start surfing and learn more. And let's save it. Let's save everything and let's visit the site. Yeah, so here is our site, and as expected, we only have the navigation and the hero. So what do you want to do now? Should we like tweak this or do some more blocks? Yeah, okay, let's do this. So here if we go actually into customize, we have menus, and we have a lot of menus. Menu locations, so we have primary, that's up here, and we can now select the menu. So let's, body short. Yeah, you know what, I will leave it for now. So we just have a menu. So I will go back here, and do we have site identity, site name? Let's call it amazing surf. And you see the site name showed up there. So let's publish what we have so far. And let's go back into Pinegrow. And we'll do the details, like, I think at the end. Like first, let's just go through all the sections and convert them into blocks. So the next one is kind of, I don't know, about us, something like that. So again, we select block and we do auto create. And then we wait a little bit, but not too long. Okay, and we have the block is done. So again, it's fully editable. It has the title, the description is editable, and it's rich text. That's what we want. And then see, this is interesting. So here we have like 2 items. And we have like the lazy approach would be to just create like label 1, label 2, description 1, description 2, image 1, image 2. But Mr. Pinecone is not lazy. So it created a block inner content section. So it means a section where different blocks can be placed. By default, any block can be placed here. But then Mr. Pinecone defined a sub-block type that has editable icon and editable text. And it also said here, like the allowed parent is about history is this block. And if we go into block inner content, it can only contain feature sub-blocks. So this makes it kind of very convenient to easily add as many of these small repeatable items as we want when we are editing the content. Yeah, so this is quite advanced. That's how I would do it if I would do it by hand. And we have editable image. And also here we have editable area that has editable like the number and the description of what we are so good at. Yeah, so there's nothing to change when it comes to this block. So let's use it. Let's export it and refresh our index template. We are editing it. And then let's add a block about history and check if we placed it in the correct place. Yeah, we did. And everything is editable. We can change, we can type whatever we want directly here on the page. Also, these icons are editable. Okay, now we can see that we have actually like two features. And if we need one more, we just click here and we get one more. Now we need one more. Do we need 4? Yeah, we can have 4 and just simply we change what it says here. But I'll delete this too. It looks better with just 2 items. But you can see that this, like the sub-blocks were done automatically for us. So yeah, really nice experience. So let's replace the image. Something more surfy, right? Maybe this one. And doesn't have to be years, it can be the scariest wave surfed. And let's save it and reload. Yeah, and here it is. Yeah, looks very nice. So let's go back to Pinegrow, and now we have, this is like a section with some like post items, and we can use this as I would say like on the index template to display the latest blog posts. Now let's go block auto create. And with Pinegrow, we actually have our blocks have an option that you can have an article picker, like post picker, and then you just select which posts you actually want to display, and then just those posts are displayed. But here what we want to do is use the main loop that just displays any kind of post that WordPress wants to display on this particular page. So let's see what happened. So this two content is editable, and then here we have article. I'll make this bigger. So we have loop. And this loop type is what I mentioned before. It would give us a picker for selecting posts that we want to display there. So also then for each post we show like featured image, post date, post title, post exit, post link, and this image here. Yeah, okay, post link. So yeah, let's save and export and go here, and we will add this block tips, it's the name. So we'll add it here. Yeah, and actually it lets us, we have like, maybe now save it and see what is displayed. Sorry, no post matched your criteria. So we have to select the posts. Let's just do a couple of them. Button, anything else? Okay, let's try this. Save. And now we have the selected posts were displayed. But what I mentioned before, what we want is not to select individual posts, but actually we want to display like the main loop. And solution is very simple. We just click here on the loop action, like show posts, and we select loop type, the main loop. And let's save it, export, and we reload. Now the post picker is gone because we just display post from the main loop. And if I reload the page, here they are. And notice that because this is dynamic, this is hybrid block, we can easily edit it here with, online on the page. But whenever we made the change, all the block instances are automatically updated. It's not necessary to like do block recovery and any messy stuff. Whatever we do, it's always up to date. So now what happens if we click here on read more? Well, we actually land on the same template, index template, which doesn't know how to correctly display a single post. It's just displayed here. So let's go back to Pinegrow and see what we can do. So what is the next block? Okay, it's like call to action. Let's convert this one also. I imagine that this will be kind of a simple block, no dynamic, no information from the database, just everything is fully editable right here on the block, on this block, yeah. And yeah, we have editable heading, description, and then primary button. We have a similar situation like we had at the beginning. So again, let's fix this. Let's remove the primary button text, editable field, and go into editing, select span, the text, wrap it with span, and then we go here and we do block attribute, and we'll say primary button text. Primary button text. So we have, and then SVG. Well, actually we don't need to, I don't want to make it editable because it's just arrow, quite nice. So we can delete this one. And then the second button is editable, both like the link itself and the text. And then we have these features where like the image is editable and the feature text is also editable. So here in WordPress theme settings, we have allow using inline SVG images in block attributes. So by default this is off because SVGs can contain JavaScript code. And if somebody is editing the site who you don't trust, then they could abuse this feature and add custom JavaScript code to the page. But in most cases, the person who is doing these things, who is building the templates, is also the admin of the site who could anyway place any JavaScript code on the page. So in that cases, it's perfectly okay to allow using inline SVG images in block attributes. So anyway, let's now export the block again and see if, okay, yeah, no need to reload, to save. Oh, so this is much better, yes? So we have editable texts and we have editable images. We could just paste, we could go online and paste. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? So I'll go maybe bootstrap icons. List. Okay, icons. So which one do we want? Maybe fire. Let's do fire. And let's copy the SVG and go here into the editor, and then we just put it in, and here is the fire. So that's when we enable this option, then it's very easy to edit SVGs like this. No need to save files, and you can just copy paste directly in this edit SVG fields. So now let's save the template and take a look. So here it is. But actually what we wanted is take care of displaying a single post. That still doesn't work because there is no template for that yet. So back in Pinegrow, we have the next section, okay, frequently asked questions. So let's skip this one for later. And here we have something that looks like a single post. So let's add block action and do auto create. And this section has image. This could be our featured image. AI assistant is asking us a question. So where some parts are static and some parts show the post content, everything option 1, everything editable. Option 2, show actual post content. So here for this block, I think we would select option 2, show actual post content, right? So let's put number 2 and follow up. So this is the first time that the AI assistant asked us a question. So if nothing happens, it's always good to check here in the AI window to see if our opinion is requested. Okay, so now let's see what happened. We have blog single post, and it has main loop with featured image, and then there is author image, author name, description, post date, post title, and then post content. And then here, okay, for social links, we have like editable attributes, but we'll do something else there. Let's first go up and also notice something like the post content is using Tailwind class Prose. So, and notice here we don't have Tailwind classes on P, on H2, and on the list. The Prose class handles care of typography of all elements inside the element that has the Prose class. So it looks quite good, and one of the main problems with Tailwind when it comes to using it for WordPress or other CMSs is the fact that all these Tailwind classes need to be added like on individual elements. And when we have a CMS, of course, we can't do that because we just have paragraphs, headings, images, lists, tables in the post content. So, but anyway, let's see. Prose is actually a good solution for that. And now we go here, templates. We will add new template. Add new template, single posts. No pattern. And now let's just add, so what do we need? We need header. We need the footer, okay, which is empty. And then let's put in the main here about history. Well, our new block is missing. Block single. Let's try to export again. I will save and reload. Oh, now it's here. Not sure what happened. So let's, I was afraid it's again some kind of bug, but luckily it's just, it took a while for it to show up. So yeah, here we have our blog single post, and all of this is dynamic information except share this article. So let's save it. And then if we now, yeah, now we see single post. So what else do we have? A blog page. Okay, clearing fonts, page with comments. These are pages. And I guess we only did it. Our single post only works for posts. So let's go back here. Another single post, and let's add a new table, new template. So single item, search, pages, I guess pages. All pages for all items, page for specific. Let's do all pages. We don't want the pattern. And now let's just add default header, and then we will add block a single post. It's not just blog post, it's also a page. And then let's add the footer, which is empty at the moment. So now let's save it. And we open a page. Then we see the page display. Blog page, about. This looks good. And if we go again into post, it would be nice to have this also, like the title should also be a link. So let's go and fix that. And we have to do it on the first item because that's then repeated. So we have post title, let's also do post link. And export. Reload, and now we also have the link. Yeah, perfect. Would also be good to show categories. We don't have it. So what we will do, let's go here on the single. So where would be a good place? Somewhere here. Maybe below the date. So we will do something. Now notice we have Smart Insert is activated. So this will use our AI assistant. When we drop an element on the page, it will get customized. And we can just say category. This is not the element, it has no meaning, but it's a kind of hint for what we want. So let's place it here below the post date, or maybe in front. And then our AI is thinking, or maybe after. Okay, and we have, like, you see, organic gardening. We have green. And actually I would prefer to use the primary color, so I will click here, swap color, so all green with primary. Okay, and we have to also add post tags and categories, and this will be category, and this element itself will be used as a kind of template for showing categories. So let's save it and export it and reload the page. So here we have blog categories, but they're not links. So actually we can change. Here we have like category still used as a tag. We can change this, transform into on anchor, so link. And let's export. And now these are links that go to that categories. And we don't have yet, of course, a category template, but everything works. I mean, the links and stuff works quite nicely. So what else do we have? Oh yes, share this article. So we have the links. So I don't want to install a special plugin for this, share the article links. So instead, let's just figure out how to do it by ourselves. So let's ask Mr. Pinecone, let's go just chatting. What is the URL sharing link on Facebook? So we can, even you select just chatting, like nothing will change. We can just, chat with Mr. Pinecone. Okay. So let's ask it actually to create this. So I will remove this block attribute. And then I will add function. and it will be function that will change the link. And here we need some custom code. So I just want to make like a placeholder, and then I will ask Mr. Pinecone to actually implement it. Let's do like this. The current WordPress post on Facebook. So if we take a look at the code, what we have is this. Share, okay, so let's see. Not sure if this will work. Let's try, yeah. Transform the element. Put it in that attribute. Let's see. Oh, okay. You will get permalink. Oh, that looks quite okay, right? I'm surprised. Let's see if it works. Export. And let's go down, down, down. Oh, should select shorter post. Oh my gosh, here it is. So it has Facebook, share PHP. Let's try. Oh wow, it works. That was simple, right? Okay, let's get rid of it. We don't want to share it. Really? So now we can remove this, and we can say change sharing as for also for the other two. And the other two are Twitter and Instagram. So not sure if yeah, Twitter, tweet URL code. Okay, LinkedIn, that's not LinkedIn. Is it? It's Instagram, yeah? Let him know. Would be better if we would just mention, also for the Twitter and Instagram. But it's easy to follow up and easy to check, to change. Yeah, Instagram, share. Okay. So in this way, it was very easy to kind of implement this small like PHP code snippets without relying on other plugins and bloating our site. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So here we have do the work, Twitter, yeah, it works, and Instagram, share. What's that? Looks like a user share. Yeah. So that's not good. Yeah, in the meantime, my kids came home, so I had to take a break. And it's also obvious that Instagram sharing doesn't work. So it turns out that Instagram doesn't have this way to share through link, that usually people share QR codes on Instagram because it's meant to be like a medium for images. So what we can do and I asked Perplexity. By the way, I like it very much for search. I rarely use Google anymore. Even the free version that I'm using, it's very useful. So yeah, we have a service that can generate URL code for us. We just pass in the URL encoded URL. So let's copy this link, go here in Pinegrow, and we will replace this part, the first part. So it's barcode type data equals permalink. Let's save and export. And let's try it now. Yeah, and we get a new nice QR code that I guess if you are on mobile, or you can just scan with your phone in Instagram, and then you can share this online. So I think that's a good solution. The only thing for this, actually for all of those, let's also open a new window, the links. So target, we will set it to blank. And notice that I selected 3 elements, and we can do the change on all of them at the same time. So again, a way to be quicker. Let's save and export. So, okay, if we go to the site, and my sample data includes a lot of like formatting, which is great for, checking of what is going on. And this is one problem we will solve now. So anyway, here is a page with all sorts of HTML tags and formatting, and it looks very nice on the front end because Prose class is handling the display, of all of these classic HTML elements such as addresses, lists, levels. Yeah, even this is very nice. So this looks good, right? But as soon as we go into edit post, this is what we get. This kind of just looks very plain, and the reason is that Prose is not active here. We go up to the content, blog post. So we have post content element, and there we add the Prose class. But when we go into WordPress editor, our wrapper code is not here. Only the styles that we included into the editor are present. And of course, Prose is there, but the class Prose is not added anywhere on the, into the editor. So the Prose is not active. And to understand the solution, we have to also understand how editor styles work. So when we include a style sheet, like we do here, when we say, okay, include this into the editor, then WordPress takes this style sheet and it transforms it, like it adds scoping to every CSS rule, so that the CSS rule only applies to the area inside the block editor. So I won't go into technical details here, that's how WordPress works. We have to define a CSS rule in our style sheet that will enable Prose, and then WordPress will scope it to the editor, and it will show up in the editor. And the way to do that, again, I hope I didn't scare you, it's really not complicated, even with Tailwind, because we have a feature called styles, and we will use that. So, but first of all, if we want Prose to show up in the editor, we have to add it to the body tag, because body rules will be transformed kind of as a top. Will show up in the editor, will get scoped to the whole editor area. So let's try to do that. So let's go here, and we can switch to the class tree inspector, and then add class, typography, enable Prose. And I have this keep the menu open active, so when it's easy to make many changes, but I will disable it now because it might be a bit confusing. So anyway, now Prose is added to the body, and on the first glance, not much changed. Let's make some more space and see the larger version. And see here, now the Prose is affecting the whole page, and Prose sets the minimum, like the maximum width of the page, and that's why we have this narrow now area. And also it affects all like the H1s, that's spacing everywhere, and usually we don't want that. So what can we do? So first of all, we will override the maximum width. We'll just go here and say dimension, maximum width. Here we can see what happens. So, none. And now everything is nicely stretched, using the whole space. And then what we do, so for all these blocks, I will select them all at once. Actually, the Prose gives us also the option to disable Prose. So let's do that. So what happens? On the body, we enable Prose, and then in each block, we disable it. Because in none of these blocks, we were using Prose, right? The only place where we were using it was in the content of the single post block. But once we disable Prose on one element, reactivating it with kind of inside Prose will not work anymore. So this has no effect. So I will disable the Prose here, but also on this block, I will remove the not Prose. And instead, what we will do, so this is the article that has the kind of the header, and then it has the content. So what we will do is we will wrap the header without the H1, or let's also do H1. So we will wrap the header into a div, wrap with div, and then on this div, we will disable Prose. So this gives us kind of the Prose is active, but for this area where we want like precise control over how we do things, it is disabled. Actually, let's move the H1 out. I think it looks nicer if it is affected by the Prose. Yeah, no, it's the same. Because we have the styling here directly on H1. So anyway, we can tweak this as much as we want. So, okay, let's try an export. And go here and reload the page. And it's still the same, nothing happened. So why? Because so far we added like the Prose class directly on the body element. So it's not exported, it's not exported into a CSS rule, right? It's just there on the body element. So here we will use class styles. So let me switch here. And then for the body, I will create a new style, and I will use component styles because component styles are exported into CSS rules. And I will say, okay, this should be CSS rule for body. Okay, and now if we go here into style manager, we see body style that has the Prose class and this maximum white none. So now let's save it and let's export and reload. And now you see, we see the formatting. The Prose is now active also in the editor. But like there are some problems, right? Like this one. So it looks like there are some blog styles or WordPress baked-in styles are clashing with our styles. But before we go and fix that, let's also notice that there is no padding around here. So this doesn't look very good. So okay, how can we solve this? So if we go into the body and we add padding here, so padding X, I don't know, let's do 12. The problem is that we also have the padding now here on the page, so that's not what we want. So what we need is to add the padding only on the body element when it is included in the style in the WordPress editor as a style, as an editor style. And then to do that, in Tailwind, like how to split our Tailwind CSS into two parts, it all can get very complicated, but then we remember a simple fact. This is simply, it's just HTML and it's CSS. Even though it's Tailwind, even though it's WordPress, underneath, it's just HTML, it's just CSS. So instead of making, I don't know, some very complicated things here, we can simply create a new style sheet. Let's go here, create new file, and let's say editor, styles, CSS, or let's say additional. Okay, and let's edit it, and we can use the code editor, and let's just say body, and we'll do padding left, 2 rems, padding right, 2 rem, save it, And now let's go into our theme settings. And here we will also include this style sheet into the editor. So the style sheet is not included on the page, on the front end. We only use it in the editor. Save. Save and export. And reload. And here it is. Now we have our padding. And we could add additional styles. We could set maximum width and stuff like that. But for now it's good. But let's also check if it works in preview. And it does. And on the page, everything is as it should be. And now let's have some fun with the content. Usually this is a scary part when it comes to making sure that all these WordPress styles work okay on our page, that there are no conflicts with our styling. And again, this will be quite simple. So let's go back into Pinegrow. And here we have a feature called live data. So let's go into settings. Yeah, you see here we have preview and API access. So let's put in the site URL. And then username, I'm using admin. And we have to create application password. So we'll go to WordPress dashboard. Go to dashboard, users. And then for the admin, I will create a new application password. Copy it. And enter it here in settings. Let's test. Okay, it works. And save. Now with this active, I can choose, here we have the preview. I can choose kind of the page on which we will preview our project while we are working. So let's just do home. So what happened now, our preview includes also all of the styling that is added by WordPress on the front end. Then this makes it easier to see the conflicts. But it would be very nice to actually work with the actual content from the site here, right? And we can do that. So let's import live data for the whole page. So now, see, a lot has happened. So let's take a look. First of all, the site name was imported, even the menu was imported. And then these are just static kind of blocks, so nothing happened here. And then we have the actual posts from the site. And in our block, single post, we also have the content, but it's the content of all the posts that are present in the WordPress loop. And because we are previewing home, the loop contains a list of all recent posts. So we can tweak this a bit. So let's select the loop action. That's the show posts. And here we have option to select which post we will preview. So let's see the interesting post. Okay, markup, HTML text and formatting. Let's say add post. And let's say markup. We can search. Markup, HTML text and formatting. So here it is now. Will be used as preview. We made a change. So let's import the data. So now what do we have? And let's import the whole site again to get rid of those additional posts. So yeah, so now this is what we have. We have all the styling is here, and we can make sure that it looks perfect. And actually the pre-formatted text looks good on the front end. Right. We only have the problem in the editor because it seems it is like the text color, yeah, it's overwritten here by one of WordPress styles. So let me try something. Let's go here in body where we have Prose, and let's make it important. But then this is a bit of a problem, okay, because then we also have to make this one important. So I don't think it's a good solution, but just let's just try. Save and reload. And let's see. Oh, you see now it's white because we said important. So all the Prose styles are now using important modifiers in CSS. But that's not the best solution because we might have problems then with overriding any of these styles. We would always have to use important as well. So let's disable it. And we can take care of just that case, like on the case-by-case basis. So let me reload. Looks okay. Did I export? Okay, we have to save and export. And let's take a look at what is going on. So this is pre-tag. And there is here, like from TinyMCA, because this is classic editor, if you noticed, this sample. There is like something, the color is set here. And let's create a new style. Create new style for pre-formatted element. And now here, let's say we want the text color to be white. Although I'm not sure, maybe this was gray. Maybe gray 50. So let's save, let's export. And it's still black because the specificity of the rule that makes it black is like higher than this one. So if we go here and say important, and reload, this took care of it. But this style also affects everything on our front end. So there is actually a helper if we would want to like target only the pre-element when it shows up in the WordPress editor, we can add a variant, and here we have helpers for WordPress. So one is targeting elements on the page when admin bar is displayed, so that we can push them down or make sure that they're not covered by the admin bar. And the second one is the element is shown in block editor. But this doesn't work with the body element. That's why we had to create additional style sheet where we added paddings for the body in the editor. But for the other elements that are not body, we can use this option. So now let's move this, move to variant. I'll just copy and then paste. And we can remove it from here. And might be even the important might not be needed because now specificity will be higher. Let's check. Yeah, it's still not white, so let's make it important. Save and export. And here it is. So with this approach, we didn't change anything on the front end. We just created kind of style that affects how the element is displayed in the editor. Okay, let's do one more thing. How about, let's say we want to improve the styling of the table. I mean, it doesn't look bad by default, but I want to show you how it can be done easily. So here in the AI assistant, we have an option to transform component and class styles. And these are these guys here. So I selected the table, and now let's switch to the voice mode. So let's ask the assistant, create beautiful styles for the table, make it striped. So let's see what will happen. So now we got, let's maybe make it bigger so that we can see. Yeah, it did quite a good job. And it created a single style, just table, because a single style can encapsulate kind of styling for sub-elements using custom Tailwind variants. And Pinegrow makes this very easy. You can see here, oh, this is targeting like the parent table body, table cell, and it is very good to kind of encapsulate the styles. So that's not like CSS rule, because this will be exported into multiple CSS rules. But a single style should really contain all the styling, not just for the parent element, but also for any sub-elements. And the AI assistant can take care of this out of the box. So there is one issue, you see we can't see the hover on odd cells, odd rows, even though here we have the hover. And we could of course ask the AI assistant, I know what the problem is, do you know? So the specificity of this rule is higher than this one, and then that's why it doesn't show. And the solution would be to add important here, but let's try Mr. Pinecone if he's smart enough. The hover effect on even rows is not visible. Let's see. Change to PG primary. Yeah, it didn't work. Maybe we would have to be more specific, but you see, that's AI is great helper if you actually know what's going on, because then instead of bothering here trying to debug with the AI, we exactly know what the problem is. So first of all, let's change this one to important. And now the hover effect is visible everywhere. Let's make it 50 to make it less strong. And also the first row, there is no padding here. And instead of bothering with creating the selector, let's try to ask Mr. Pinecone and say, there is no left padding in the first cell of every row, so add a bit of padding there. Okay, and we have the padding. And I don't like this header, is a bit too strong. So the head, so that there it is. So let's try. Maybe make it, use the secondary color. Okay. And maybe we don't want to change the link color, we just want to use default. So we can find it here. And we just simply disable these colors and we will use defaults. So now let's save and export. Okay, have to log in again. You probably guessed my secret password. Okay, let's reload. And here we now see the table. We see it in the editor and also on the front end. It looks the same. So using the combination of live data and AI-assisted class styles, it's really easy to create kind of cohesive styling for both front-end and the block editor. So let's try one more thing. There is a page here. Let's see if I can find it. With buttons. Block button. Okay, so here we have the buttons. and they look okay on the front end. Oh, actually, they also look okay in the back end. But let's say that we want to change the buttons. We want to make them maybe using our primary color. So let's go here, back to Pinegrow, and then we will go on loop main, and we will select the post, preview post. So now we have two, so let's delete the first one, and now import live data. And here are our buttons. So let's select the content, and then here component class install. Let's ask Mr. Pinecone create beautiful styles for button classes using primary color. So this adds a level of excitement to web development, because you're kind of waiting, oh, what will happen? What will be the result? And yeah, I like it. The result is very good. And we have some button styles. Align center, align left, align right. We could probably combine this into a single one, like VP blog button. Let's try. So combine VP blog button align classes into a single VP blog button style that then uses variants to target the center, left, and right classes. Let's see. Okay. Oh, did well. So, we could do all of this by hand, but I guess it would take 5 minutes. And here with using the AI assistant, it only took 30 seconds. So we as developers, we are still in charge. We are still the ones who are deciding, I want just one style and I want this to be kind of sub variants. But all the grunt work, most of it can nowadays be done with AI. So I hope this tutorial is also useful for those who are not yet sure if AI can add any value to their work. At least for me, it's really clear that it is very useful. And, it's just cents, or I spend maximum $1 or $2 a day, even when I do a lot of testing and a lot of transformations. So, it's really no-brainer nowadays to use it. So, and I have nothing, if I recommend it to you, we are not selling AI plans and stuff like that, but just sharing my experience. It is really useful. So, okay, now we have these cool buttons. Let's see how they appear here in the backend. Wow, you see? Perfect buttons. And on the front end, also. So this approach is really, really powerful. You just use live data to display whatever content you have in WordPress post. And then you ask Mr. Pinecone to create styles for that. And then if necessary, you tweak the styles using these handy tools. And all of that is then just, goes into CSS rules. This is kind of standard Tailwind components. So it's nothing, no abstraction on top. It's just standard HTML, CSS, but we are using smart tools to let us work, more efficiently and also to have more fun while working. Well, with that, I'm quite happy with our posts, and we also found an efficient way to resolve any problems. So let's go back to our navigation component. So let's see, how does it work? We have menu, and let's switch into Class Inspector. So by default it is hidden, and then on medium it shows up. But here it's kind of crowded, so let's say it should be also hidden on medium, and it should show up on large. So let's change medium to large. And we also need, I guess, the button is now hidden on medium, but should be hidden on large. Okay, so now we have, you see, it was super easy to change. Like the class tree inspector, it's really, really efficient to work with Tailwind. So now let's activate test clicks, and if we click, nothing happens. So what to do now? We could install a plugin or do some complicated stuff, but instead, let's just select this and let's go transform selected element and tell Mr. Pinecone, add JavaScript code that will toggle the menu when you press the mobile, like the hamburger button, and just toggle the hidden class to show and hide the menu, and add the script inside the now element. So let's see what will happen. Oh, I forgot to ask it to use plain JavaScript. But we can always follow up. Okay, so here we have, now if I go and check the code of this element, so now we have, okay, ID mobile menu, and then here we have function toggle menu. It just toggles the class hidden on the mobile menu. I mean, it's super, super simple, but does it work? Okay, it does, but that's maybe not what we want. We want also the layout of the menu to be maybe down here on the mobile. So let's do a follow-up. So on mobile screen, so that means on sizes less than large, display the menu vertically below the site title. Let's see. That's exciting. What will happen? Oh, wow. You see? I mean, there are no animations. We could probably add them. I mean, at the moment, AI doesn't work very well with our Pinegrow interactions, but that will also change. We are really integrating it in every aspect of Pinegrow. So it's probably possible to do, figure out some animations. I mean, we can try. I'm happy with how it is now, even though it would be better to have it absolute. But let's try. The mobile menu should use absolute so that it kind of covers the page, not push it down. And also try to make it animated. So when it's shown that it kind of, the reveal is animated. Okay, doesn't help to try, and if it works, it works. If not, we can be happy with what we have. Okay, and it's always probably necessary to refresh the page so that all the JavaScript code gets updated. And yeah, doesn't work. So let's do undo to get to this place. And now mobile menu, if we select it. So I'm thinking what to do. We could either like just show this absolute, but another solution could be to make the whole header maybe sticky. Let's try position, static, fixed, sticky, or fixed probably. And then we also have to do dimension, width should be full. And I guess we need the index. So instead of searching, we can also type like Z, Y, Z minus index. Yeah, let's do it maybe 10. Okay, so what? Let's refresh. So if we open it, now shows, and also like the menu is visible all the time. And I guess that's probably what we want. Yeah. So now let's save and export. I'll just make sure that it displays on large. Yeah, you see it doesn't. Because the mobile menu, yeah, there is like a wrapper. Let me do one thing. I will now go and I will take a screenshot of the selected element of the menu, and then I will say new task, and I will say make sure that the menu looks okay also on large size, not only on mobile. So the menu should be in the same line with the site title, like where we have amazing surf, the menu should be there on the right side, and there should be like spaces between menu items. So please fix the menu so that it works perfectly both on desktop and on mobile. Okay, so now what you did, it created a second copy. Actually, that can work because we have, it's just menu action is added there on both. So the same menu will be displayed twice, but once for mobile, once for desktop. So let's try. So it works here, then on medium. It also works on medium. Okay, so let's export it and go to our site. reload the menu is okay here, and then if we go into inspect and do that mobile view, it's also okay here. It's just a bit strange when we have this WordPress menu when this is not sticky. How about on desktop? Here is better. So anyway, I think that's good enough. Yeah, so we now have a nice mobile menu, and we just use simple JavaScript to power it. And it would be also nice to highlight the active URL. So let's go here and show the menu. And then let's select, okay, the test click is activated. So let's select one of the items. And let's style it. Should we use primary? Yeah, why not? Let's use primary 400 to highlight, and also the cover should not be white but should be primary. Okay, and what we will do is let's select these two classes. Just click here on the empty space with comment, and then let's right click and say create a new style. And we don't want to add to body, we want really to create new style. And let's create style for the class active, and we can scope it to our navigation, nav, and then dot active. Okay, so it says that our element does not have this class active. Should we still create the style? And yes, let's create it. And then let's go into, Command L. It's like add class. And let's add class active to this menu item. So now we have it. And let's also do here the same for the mobile menu. Active. And our menu action is smart enough to figure out that the active class is probably used to highlight the selected item. So there's nothing else we have to do. I just export the project and go here. Okay, so active works. I know why, because the first item is used as a kind of template, and we removed the text classes from it, the normal ones. So let's text gray, let's copy this too, and then copy classes with variants, and they'll go back to the inline, and here we will paste classes. So now we have like text gray, text white, but of course active is using different colors. And let's also go here. Here we still have it, okay. So should I repeat what we did? So when we created the style for those classes, the classes were transferred into the style, so they were no longer on the element. And because the first element is used as a template for all menus, then they were all displayed without color classes. And to fix that, we simply went back to the first item in its inline style, and we added the text classes for normal display and for the hover state. And then here our nav active style is handling display of the highlighted item. So now let's save and export, reload, and now we have here like the menu is also correctly highlighted. Okay, so what's next? I think we skipped one block. Let's see. Yeah, this one doesn't have, and the footer is still missing, so frequently asked questions. Let's go to WordPress, let's say block, and let's say auto create. So this will create a block. I guess for now, I imagine this will be like inner content area, and these items will be like sub blocks. Yeah, heading is editable, block inner, and then we have again block back item and button, and yeah. So this looks okay, but let's also ask it to do the styling. So we'll do a new task. So why do we do new tasks? Also to save our API usage, because if you always just follow up, even if it's not necessary, then for every follow-up, everything that was said before in this task gets sent again and again and again. So you can really spend a lot of tokens. So if it's something that doesn't really require the knowledge of what was done previously, it's always better to do new task. So let's say add plain JavaScript code that will handle collapsing of the frequently asked question items, and the first item should be displayed by default. And when you click on an item, the other items should be closed. And just do that by manipulating the hidden class. And add the script code into the section element. Okay? We even don't have to type, we can just talk. And that saves even more time. And yeah, I'll show you. We can even save the AI commands. Like once we come to the result that is good, we can teach the AI assistant to remember that command. Okay, so let's try it. Let's activate test clicks. Oh, wow, it works. So now let's go here and say, you see there is like a learn this task icon. So let's say click it, learning this task. So task pack accordion saved. And now we also have here like learned tasks, and we could reuse it on other, similar situations. And we can also edit it. Let's take a look. So sorry, this tutorial will be long, but I'm trying to show you as much as possible so you really get a good overview of what is possible in Pinegrow. So we have the task, and it has instructions, and it even has example code of the starting point and the ending point. So this really helps the AI to kind of remember how these particular tasks should be done. And now either we can edit it or we can reuse it in other situations. Okay, so now we have our frequently asked questions. Well, let's try it. Let's export it. And and edit site. So let's just add it to our index template. Oops, can I switch? Let's go to index. And let's add the faq section. Okay, and let's make sure that it is placed in the correct spot. And here we can, change the questions. What happens if I type? Okay. Perhaps here would be, now we kind of just have a static box for text, but how about if we want to add a list or, image? So it's a bit limited, but no problem. Let's go back here, and here where this sub-block is defined, we have block attribute answer. But instead of block attribute, so let's remove it, let's make this block inner content that can take any kind of sub-block. So instead of making this like an editable attribute, we'll make it like an area where user can put whatever they want. So let's export and reload. Let's see our. So now here we can choose, just type this one line. I want to do this because I want to show you something. Okay, is the second line. How about a list? Do you see a problem? There is no styling, right? So let's save. And why not? Well, because we disabled the prose on this block. So let's remove this. And then of course, like our headings got like some extra information, styles and stuff. So what we can do, like we did before, here we can then, just for this header, we can disable prose. So then this is just, again, not affected by it. And then let's go down. Here we have button with H3. Maybe we also disable prose here for the button display. Not prose. And let's do it like on all placeholder elements. Let's just select all three of them and say not prose. Okay, and I think now it looks like it should. Where is it? Oh, you see? Now we have our frequently asked questions. We could deal with these buttons, but it's okay. They don't look too bad. You can just leave them as they are. And let's view the page. Or no, that's a template. So let's go Everywhere just, yeah, let's go to the first page. Okay, and here it is. And maybe, like frequently asked questions. Yeah, there is no content here, that's why we don't see anything. But let's say we have like a page. Maybe we want it here. And because it's custom block, we can also use it in the content. So let me go. FAQ section. Is it correctly placed? Yes. And now we can like change the name. Oh, I'll just copy paste some information. Okay, to save time. Maybe this one also. And maybe we just need 3, so let's delete like the last item. Delete. And now save and view the page. And now we have our frequently asked questions. So, okay, let's take a look at our page. The footer is not yet done, but I think it would be great also to have a contact us form, right? But it's not here, so we have to add it. So we will use Smart Insert. That's the icon displayed here. We did use it already for adding categories. And now we'll go Insert, and here we have like smart sections, which are basically just prompts. There is no code there, no like block component code. It's just prompt telling Mr. Pinecone to insert contact us section. So let's put it here. And it's thinking, doing smart insert. And with smart insert, it can happen that, always we also include surrounding area. So it can be a lot of code, like in this case, but it's also something that we can control. Okay, this would be good to fix the icons. So let me check what's actually the problem. Yeah, it's just using the icon references that don't exist. So, and here you see, instead of doing follow-up, that would again send all this information to AI, we'll just select this element and say, show the correct SVG icons. And maybe it would be also good to do, this section. How about if we color it with primary? Yeah, like this. Okay. It went to the wrong element because it's changed. Yeah. Let's do a slight background and the icons are correct. And now we can go back to our block action and say auto create. And the auto create also knows how to handle forms. Pinegrow's WordPress builder has a form action that can then send the submissions of the form either to email, or it can be stored in the database as a custom post type. So let's see if this was done. So of course this is editable, and then we have form that got the form action, and with contact form it will be sent to email. So of course you can use any, if you need more advanced form features, you can always use any of the form plugins and just display the form here with a shortcode or HTML snippet. So it's really flexible. You don't have to use our form implementation. And then here, contact information, SVGs, should we make them editable or not? Maybe not, because here it's any the address. So we can remove the editable attribute. And the phone number is phone number, email is email, so these icons work quite well. But of course, we could easily add them back. And the form, yeah, the button text is editable. That's correct, that's what we want. So that was easy. Oh, how about the map? So let's see, where is the map? So the map, okay, the whole iframe is editable, but let's see. Actually, only the source attribute needs to be editable. So let's make the change. We'll map embed URL. So we will change it to attribute source. And now we will be able to change the map. Just paste in a different URL. So let's save and let's go to export. And then here, let's go into dashboard, pages, contact, edit. So here we can actually use custom template. So I'm not sure why not. Maybe let's close some things. Old stuff. So let's go into edit side and go to templates. All templates. So we have index, pages, single posts, and then add new template. And let's say pages, and then this template will be used only for specific items. So let's find contact. Okay, no pattern. And then let's add, we will add the header and the footer, and let's do hero section and contact section. And let's reorganize. And then hero, we can say get team get in touch and change the image. And we don't need this button, so it would be nice to be able to remove it. So we can add conditions. Let me save it and go back to Pinegrow where we have our hero section. And then if we can save if empty, then we want to remove this element. And also the second button, if attribute link, if there is no URL, we want to remove this element. So now let's go back here. Now they're gone because we don't need them. And get in touch. And now if we go into our contact page and we view it, there it is. And also because we have fixed like a menu that covers the page, we can just add more like padding on top of this to compensate. So on the header, let's increase the padding top, 32 maybe. We can see here we have on small and medium, we have different values. So let's for padding top, maybe 50, 52, 56. And then here we can do maybe 40. And on small, okay, we can do 32. Let's export, reload. Yeah, this is better. So okay, I won't customize everything. This is really quite long already, but you can see how easy it is. Okay, so now we only have the footer left. So okay, footer, we will again say block and we will do auto create. And let's see what will happen. Here we want to basically show the menus for these two areas. And this should be site title, site name, site description. And these sharing links we can implement. Okay, let's see what happens. So we have footer, site name action, it's correct. Maybe we also add site link. Link to home, not sure if it's needed. Okay, tagline, this can be site description. And then social icons, we will implement like we did before for the post. So I will remove the editable areas. And then we have menu name and then we have menu. Okay, primary and then resources, location. So let's say footer resources, and we have to register this menu location. Okay. And the phone, email. And then we have, you see, this is interesting. So here it implemented the year. We're calling the function to display the current year. And the site name, all right, reserved. And then this should actually be the menu. We can define a menu for these small items. So let's remove and just say menu. So here will be footer bottom, register location, okay, let's save and export, and we can finally add the footer into our where is it? Into our template. Because we have here our default footer. So let's add, yeah, here it is. And check if everything is placed correctly. It is. And let's see the footer, quick links. So, yeah, that's all good. Because then when we view the site, then we can actually customize the menu location. So here, okay, here is primary. And then we have view all locations. So we have social links menu. Not sure where is that, but we have footer resources. Let's say resources. I prepared these menus ahead of time, so I will not bore you with creating them now. Footer bottom menu. So here they are: privacy, cookie. We only need to implement this sharing. That's the only thing that's missing. And what we can do is, let's copy this, Command C, and then go here, and then we will go to AI and we will say implement social links similar as here. It's also nice to make some delimiters. But this time styling to site URL. So let's see what will happen. We could also copy paste the actions and modify them. This was a bit more lazy approach. Let's see what will happen. Code, so function, Facebook URL, site URL, Twitter URL, site URL, and we have this barcode site URL. Okay, let's export, reload, and let's try. Will we get this QR code? Yeah. There it is. Twitter. This also works. So looking at my list of things I wanted to show, there's just one more fun thing remaining. And we are using design panel. And this makes it very easy to experiment with different designs. So like, for example, I will create new design and I'll say surprise me. And again, or I can select this photo and say get colors from this photo. It's really easy to experiment with different designs. Or something like this. Oh, nice. And then we can have more. We just create another version. This is also greenish. Might work for gardening. So, and then let's activate this one. And save and export. And let's go to our site. You see? And now we have different design. So it's very easy to, once we have everything implemented with primary colors, it's very easy to experiment with different designs. Just switch, save, export, reload, and it's immediately changed on the site as well. So this was a long journey. And congratulations if you're still here. But I really tried to go, deep and show many different ways. And not different ways, but different features, different tools that can help us. And I will also create like a helper template, a quick start template for Tailwind project that will have some of this, like the editor styles and stuff already there. So it will be much quicker, easier to start. And Yeah, like for me, I'm really enjoying this type of workflow because I still can be creative. I still can use all my expert knowledge, and I'm still the boss. Uh, deciding how things are made and how things are implemented. But at the same time, with these smart Tailwind tools, with the design panel, with the AI, and also with WordPress blog themes, with WordPress templates that are built with blocks, it's really fun process to build such WordPress sites. And also with our hybrid blocks that completely remove this issue of block restoration and block updating. It's really powerful and fun combination. So yeah, I hope you try it out. Yeah, again, thank you for watching. Take care and check out the quick starter template. It will save you 2 hours of tutorial. But anyway, it's good to watch it because then you also learn how things are done. And then this makes you much more powerful developer. Okay, bye-bye.